Hey, I'm just sitting here. It's Friday. Yeah. Friday. Got to get down on Friday. Or we can go back to the Friday movie. Like it's Friday, you ain't got no job and you ain't got shit to do. Anyways, golf is back. We'll talk about that. The Patriots schedule and schedule day is out. And I believe the Patriots are going to announce their Hall of Fame inductee coming up within the hour here. So we'll have that for you. My guest today is Tucker Silva. We'll bring him in just a minute. And we'll wrap up with my my Instacart experience that I had this week, which overall went well, but I don't want your lettuce. How about that? Anyways, today's guest, his name is Tucker Silva. He is from 98.5 The Sports Hub. He is from the Financial Exchange, where he is broadcasting out of the world-class studios of, I believe, the Armstrong Advisory Group. Is that what we call that place now?
Yep, that's correct. Here in Needham, Mass. I just look like really small compared to you. I'm like really low. I'm gonna try and hike my chair up.
Well, Tucker,
is that better?
I mean, you're not short, right?
I was going for my knees here.
You're not short. I'm 6'3".
No, I'm short. I'm 5'9", but
okay.
My chair just looked very low there. So all right, this looks somewhat better.
You were intimidated.
Yeah, I felt very intimidated with that. So,
so I wanted to bring you on today because of the golf stuff, and we'll do a bunch of other stuff as well here on the show. But happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday to you. Yeah, I'm excited. Looking forward to the crappy weather overnight. So,
can you believe that shit? Like, all right,
everybody's saying there's snow coming. I haven't seen a single forecast of snow, at least where I am. I've seen like 45 and like rain, which whatever. I'm used to that. But you have snow in your area coming?
Well, I mean, so you live on the South Shore. I live on the North Shore. So I bet you everybody that's in the middle gets slammed, or at least
I go west, like Worcester.
Yeah, that's the snow belt, dude. Like anywhere, like up Route 3. Like that area always gets a little bit, but I know the song, right? Sometimes the snow comes down in June.
Oh yeah,
I don't want this shit right now. Like we got lucky. We got lucky this year with the snow. We got very lucky here.
We really did. What do we have? Like one or two, like somewhat bad storms, if you want to call them that. I don't recall a storm with more than 6 inches, something like that.
Yeah.
So we definitely lucked out.
Yeah. Like for instance, all those people who work in the car dealer world.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing in the world you can get is removing snow.
I did that for years, Joe. Years I did that.
Join the club.
Yeah. The snow rakes. And I became scratch cars. Yeah.
I became the pusher. So what would happen is somebody would get, clean the car and then shovel it in.
Yeah.
Then somebody would get in and I'd be behind it, pushing it out of the snowbank.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did all of that too. Yeah.
I was like, all right, one down. Let's go to the next one.
Well, you're used to that. You played football. You were on the offensive line. So you're plenty used to that.
Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. I couldn't fit in the car. So, if you use,
what are we talking about?
Oh, like a Nissan Sentra,
like a Nissan Leaf or something.
Or the Versa is the smallest car going. I think
you look like the guy in The Simpsons who's in this tiny car or whatever.
So it's like, all right, well, we won't have Joe clean any cars. We'll just have him push it.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
The key to defrosting the let was you dig out a spot in the dealership next to the cars, and then you would go in, crank the heat, crank the defroster, let that shit melt a little bit, get it nice and ripe, and then you get back in there, wipers out.
Well, see now my whole thing is I don't know where my scraper is. Like I don't know what happened. One day I was
my scrapers right now.
That's what I mean. Like tomorrow, if I get up, I gotta get up in the morning. I don't know if you're working with me tomorrow, but
oh yeah, I'm there.
We got to get up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's like more than an inch on my car, like if my wiper blades don't work, I'm screwed.
Yeah,
I'll use my sleeve,
That's the classic Southie maneuver. Is just use your sweatshirt sleeve.
Exactly, and then just get back in there.
One of these, and wipe it down.
Yeah, I'll just freeze the whole way there and let the crank the heat and get it going. But yeah, I don't need these overnight storms. So he's Tucker Silva. I'll be working with him tomorrow morning. You know how many people have asked today if we're going to discuss UFC? Like, no, no. Like, I don't know if you're interested. We can if you'd like.
No.
Okay, fine. We'll do it tomorrow then. 7 a.m.
Yeah.
98.5 The Sports Hub. I'll have all your gambling odds for it.
I mean, yeah, I enjoy listening to everything related to, gambling and everything like that. But in terms of UFC itself, like, it's just never really stuck for me. Like, I'll watch the big fights, like McGregor. I watched the 12-second fucking fight or whatever, and some other ones. But I couldn't tell you like who some of the big fighters are. Really, it just never really stuck. I respect the shit out of those guys, but
yeah. And I try to say their names, and I screw it up. So it's like worse. It's worse than hockey, you know.
Yeah.
But all the name you need to know is Masvidal. He's going to be the big one.
Okay.
And then tomorrow we have Francis Ngannou.
Isn't there some guy locally who's fighting?
Yeah. Qatar is his name. Katter.
Okay.
He's the Boston something is his his name. For those,
that interests me. Definitely a local perspective, but.
And you know what? They should put this on like regular television for the simple fact that like everyone's going to be home. I don't think. I think it's on. That ESPN Plus thing or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It could be on pay-per-view too. I don't know. I illegal stream it anyway.
Well, the McGregor one was on ESPN Plus, but you still had to pay an additional fee to get it on top of the ESPN Plus, I think.
Yeah, I believe it's something to that degree. I don't know. Yeah. I'll get the details for you. So Tucker, I went on a giant rant last night. I was on the Adam Jones show without Jones with Arcand about you golfers. Like, I get it. You love golf. You want to play golf.
Yeah.
But if people tell you can't play right now, like, don't bitch about it.
Why?
Don't bitch about it. Like. Why? Because you can go without playing golf for a little while. Like, you can go without it, right?
That's not the question. You can go without playing golf for a while, but the whole principle is just like, why can't we?
Because there's an order that says they don't want anybody going out. They don't want people out there.
People are out. People are jogging. They're going on hikes. They're walking the beach. They're crowding beach parking lots. They're still doing shit. So why can't we golf?
Listen, I support it all. I support that if there's golf, there's people working. There's people, cutting the grass. They're making money. Like, I get all that.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's like this. I can't believe all the outrage from people that, oh my God, we can't go golfing.
Well, do you golf or no?
Well, I did. I used to be a golfer. I grew up across the street from a golf course.
Well, yeah, I'm one of the guys who'll try to go once a week. So I consider that a lot. So, I mean, it gets to a point where it's just like, man, it's really a part of your lifestyle and your mentality is just like, what? I can't go outside and play golf. Why? We're outside.
Well, just here we go. If the governor says don't play golf, you don't play golf. Yeah, and that's my whole thing.
The governor's been hesitant on everything else.
Oh, so if he says it's golf, you're gonna fight him for it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So every other state has golf, but we don't. So let's bitch about it.
49 other states are allowed to golf, but we can't golf. Why the fuck not?
Because he said so.
Fuck him.
Dude, no. You could go outside and you could hit your club outside. You can set up
trust me, I've been hitting my plastic balls and chipping in the back. There's only so many perfect chips I can hit, Joe. I mean, I'm just like perfect at chipping at
You know what else you could do? You could go to the ocean, right? And you could I don't know if that's safe anymore. You could just start fucking whaling them from the sand.
Talk about a hole in one.
And in the ocean, yes. But like, if they don't want you on the golf course, you don't go. But I can't believe this outrage I've seen from you golfers.
Why?
But it's just that if you can't do something, you can't do it. Hell, dude, there's like many things.
Why can't I do that?
Because he said so. There's an order.
I don't care.
So you got to break the law.
I didn't break the law. I've been waiting for the golf courses to open. I know people who have broken the law.
I mean, dude, I want to go to a restaurant and eat inside. I want to have beer. I want to do all these things. I can't do them.
Yeah.
But you want to go play golf. You don't have to play. You can't play golf. That's just how it is right now.
Right. But the reason why there's outrage is just like, why can't I play golf? like we're outside. I can't think of a more socially distant sport than golf.
Because they don't want people going out in groups. They don't want people
You
going
don't go
out.
in groups. You go out and foursomes tough.
Yes, it's a group.
Yeah, there's 4 people. What's the order?
It's a
Under
group.
10? What's the order? Under 10 people?
It's a group.
What's the order? Is it
You're
under 10
touching
people
shit.
or not?
You're touching stuff.
Touching what? My golf clubs?
Clubs.
My
You're
golf
touching clubs.
Oh,
Yes.
how dare I touch my golf clubs? Fuck me, right? That I touch my own golf clubs where I know where my golf clubs have been.
Now I understand some people don't hate on us. I'm not hating on you. I'm calling you all selfish.
No,
you're selfish.
How are we selfish?
You want to play golf when you are told you can't.
So these businesses can't open?
No, you know what? I'm sorry for the businesses.
Yeah.
But some people want to open up on their own, and that's bullshit. They shouldn't do that.
What, golf?
Yeah, some places are trying to open up on their own without the order going through.
Yeah. Because it's just like, what are we doing here? Let's open. Let's go. Open it back up. Let's go. Keep it going.
See, I love golf, and I agree with Joe. I like Luke. I like what he says. Yes, I understand people need golf. I get it. I understand it. We all need golf. But, dude, there's a lot of shit I want to do that I can't right now.
Yeah.
A lot of shit.
Yeah,
I'd love to. I wanted to go to Tampa Bay this year. I was at WrestleMania 36. It never happened, but I have the T-shirt, and I was there. But I couldn't go.
We all agree that there's shit we want to do that we can't, but golfers just couldn't understand and didn't understand why we couldn't golf. We're outside. You can practice social distancing easily. It just got frustrating. And I understand that Baker closed it, from the get-go. I totally understand that because shit was going down. Like, what's going on right now? So let's just shut everything down. Totally got that. But it got to the point by mid-March, end of March, it's just like, all right, let's go. What are we doing?
But my whole thing is, all right, you know how the NFL said if anybody says if anybody says, oh, my decision on the draft, and if you got a problem with it, there'll be a penalty.
Yeah.
The guy put something out there and says, don't do it. And people wanted to still just disobey it. Dude, I where I grew up, I saw people on the golf course when they shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I don't agree with those people. I don't think they should have been out there.
And listen, I get getting on a plane is different. Listen, if you know who I am one of these guys. When there's a rule, I want to know how we can get around it. I'm that guy. That's me.
Right.
But I can't believe the people that actually fought and disagreed and were bitching about the fact that why can't I go golfing? I can't believe it. It's a social distance thing. It's because it was the rule. The rule, they don't want people outside. That's the whole thing right now.
It's a rule that appeared out of thin air.
But it's the point is they don't want people outside.
Why?
Are you more safe at home or out on a golf course?
Why are there people crowding the beaches then?
That's bullshit. They shouldn't be I was down I drove by the beach last week and people were out and that was bullshit.
You can't have it both ways though.
So you people at the beach, you suck too.
Yeah. And that's why they close beaches, but still people are going on the beach and everything because people need to be outside for their mental health. You can't just be locked inside and take this quarantine anymore. You can't, especially with spring.
Can you answer this question?
What?
Are you more safe inside or outside?
Outside. Not even debate outside because inside you're in enclosed fucking walls.
You're quarantined. This is what they want.
Yeah, but that's not even a question. Or what are you more safe, golfing or going into a grocery store and getting food?
That's why I did Instacart this week. And who knows what was in there? Who touched that shit either? I don't know.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that if the government says you can't go golf, you shouldn't go golf.
Yeah,
and everybody wanted to break this rule.
Joe, the point is, it was fine from the get-go. I totally understand that, but it got to a point where it's just like, what are we doing here? Open the shit up. It's golf. It was just driving people nuts.
Okay, the beach. I'm sorry. I know it was 80 degrees on whatever Saturday or Sunday last week.
Sunday was one of the better days I could remember.
And there were people in the water. In the water.
Yeah,
on the beach.
I put my feet in the water. Yeah.
Dude, they put up I drove by Lynshore Drive where Nahant Beach is.
Yeah.
And they block off the road so people couldn't park and they were still going.
Yeah, the beach by us is blocked off to cars. just because they don't want a ton of people coming down and parking and crowding the parking lots. But I'm gonna walk to the beach.
I'll say this: there are certain things I don't talk about because I'm uncomfortable about it. One of them is politics.
Yeah.
I'm not politicking right now. I am not.
Sounds like you are.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that all you golfers and you beach goers, you shouldn't be out right now. You're being selfish.
Well, we can because they just open it up.
Well, good. Congratulations, Tucker. You can now go golfing.
Thank you. I tried to get a tee time today. I couldn't because they were sold out.
Yeah, they're raking today, right? All these golf courses are they're like Scrooge McDuck today in a little bin, like jumping up and down and doing belly flops.
That's the other problem with Baker holding out for so long is that now you're gonna have a mad rush to the golf courses to get out there, and now all these golf courses are gonna be swamped with people. Now you're putting yourself more at risk by closing the golf courses for that long.
I don't know, Tuck. I don't know. I mean, you got people Team Tucker.
Yeah, I got logical people Team Tucker.
Listen, I'm not getting my ass up to go golfing anyways.
That's fine.
I don't care.
Go down with it.
What I care about is when I'm on social media and everybody is bitching about why they can't go golfing.
Well,
dude.
But yeah, because it gets to a point. It's just like, all right, where am I going to complain? You need to vent somewhere, Joe. And I vented a couple times on Twitter about golf. And guess what? I got 100 likes on one tweet. And I don't have that many followers.
So this golf thing, this is like, I'm glad we're talking about this. This is really pissing people. Like, people are pissed off that I think that you shouldn't have gone out to a golf course because the governor said so. Okay. The state mandated stay off the golf courses. People still were upset about this.
Okay. So I understand you're Mr. Rules and by the book and everything. Fine. You've established that point. But why is that rule established into April? Why?
Because they don't want people outside.
No, put the government point aside. Why can't we golf?
Because it's the property of others.
What property of others?
Well, the golf course is owned by people, by the city of Boston at some place. Franklin Park and George Wright, those are owned by the city.
No, I'm just talking about the actual activity of golf. Why can't?
Yeah, I told you could go to the beach, right?
Yeah,
you could go. You could go to the quarries and hit them down at the quarries. You
could have that many shag balls.
You could go to the Marshfield Fairgrounds and hit them.
What? No, the gates are closed.
Well, whatever. Hop the fence.
I hit it.
I'm just saying, you don't have to go to a golf course. But if they tell you don't go. But dude, you have a fucking Wii? You play golf on Wii. Go get Madden EA Sports Golf.
They know it doesn't exist anymore.
Well, whatever. All I'm saying is that you don't. I can't believe you right now. I can't believe you.
Why? You still haven't told me why you can't golf.
They say don't go, but you want to go.
Aside from the rule of you can't golf, why can't you socially distance yourself when you go golfing outside?
Well, now you can.
I know,
but it took everyone to. So you know what the governor had to do, by the way? I'm not this guy. I hope everybody knows. Whenever there's a rule,
you sound like you're that guy.
I'm a line stepper. Okay, I am a habitual line stepper. Okay, yeah. The rules are there sometimes, and I'm like, fuck those rules.
You sound like
that's me. Lady. No, but okay. If they were like, you can't smoke weed or you can't drink during the epidemic,
weed, dude.
Yeah, you can't smoke weed or drink during the epidemic. I'd be like, well, fuck that. I'm gonna drink and smoke weed. Right?
There was actually a small fear there that liquor stores were gonna close. I actually sprinted to the liquor store at one point because I didn't know what was going on with the lockdown. I stocked the fuck up. I was like, I can't do a quarantine without liquor. What are you, nuts?
I hear you, and you probably would have. Now we would have been fucking prohibition, right? We might have been like, I don't know, like fucking making our own shit. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
Yeah, I would have been in the bathtub making something up. I don't know, whatever, fucking rubbing alcohol and an old Bud Light, whatever it is,
or like getting fancy lights and just start growing plants. I don't know. And again, I'm a line stepper, but the fact that like people were so outraged and couldn't understand. Like, I feel like you just didn't understand why.
You're right. I didn't understand why.
How don't you?
Right. Hence the outrage.
How though?
How what?
At this point, No, you know that they don't want people going outside. They don't want people outside.
Well, people went outside because they're fucking humans. They want to go outside and be in the sun and enjoy spring. You can't just force people to stay inside for a fucking month. It can't be done.
2 months.
2 months, whatever the fuck.
It's been 2 months, Tucker.
You can't do it. You go insane. I would be bashing my head up against a fucking wall. You can't do it.
But you can do other things besides golf. Come on.
Outside?
Well, you could jog. you could walk.
Yeah. Do you know how many walks I've taken? There's only so many walks you can take.
I mean, you could probably bring your club
12 times.
You could probably bring your club with you, right?
Yeah, bash my fucking brains in. Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could bring your putter with you.
Again, Joe, I've been chipping like crazy in the backyard. It gets to a point where chipping is just like, all right, what are we doing here?
Kristen Sermon checking in, who is a guest this week. If you're walking outside in your neighborhood, you can be just as social as on a golf course.
Thank you.
I get that. Listen, I understand, but the order says not to.
But so
why do we want okay, well, would you be remember how there were protesters this week in Boston? I know there's two different things. All right.
Yeah, could not further.
Sorry. I probably shouldn't even go here.
No, you shouldn't at all. That was insane.
There were protesters in Boston this week. Was that bullshit or not?
Yeah.
Okay. People were doing the same thing on social media about the governor's about to announce how many deaths just happened today. And then he's going to say, oh, yeah, golf courses are open tomorrow.
No, I mean, I totally get the timing on that. And I'm glad that he allowed Mass Golf to make the announcement. I mean, that's the best way to go about it. Because, yeah, it's awkward with people dying and everything. But it's a pandemic, you know. It's what happens. You need life to keep going on. You got to survive it.
Can we agree with this take here? Okay, Joe, that the outrage was crazy, but the rules to play.
Yeah.
Place. Okay. Can we agree on that? The outrage was a little.
No, I don't think the outrage was crazy. I don't. The outrage is what made golf open.
Well, I think
the fact because the business owners who run these golf courses were pressuring Baker to open the fuck up. It's just like, what are we doing?
Let's get Baker on the line.
Yeah, he'd sprint right on this.
I just send him an invite.
Yeah,
like hey Charlie.
I'm sure he's got nothing going on.
Hey Charlie, dude, I know there's other shit going on, but like, why didn't you open the golf course?
Yeah.
Why were you the last state to open the golf course?
Massachusetts drags their ass on everything possible.
Were you like the Red Sox, where you make a trade and then you're like, oh no, the fans don't like it, and then you double look at it, you know? I don't know. I just the outrage was bizarre, and again, normally I'm the guy who's like, why can't you fucking golf? Yeah. Why can't we all golf? Blah blah. They don't want you out there. They didn't want you out there. Dude, there's so many things I like. One of the things I'm going to ask you later on here is, what's the weirdest thing you've done in quarantine, or like the weirdest purchase you have? Don't answer it now. But this is where we're at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We're all doing things we've never done before. And like, you want to go golfing, but boo-hoo, you can't. Now you can. Congratulations, Tucker. Yeah. You yelled.
I'm golfing.
You complained.
Wednesday, I think.
What's that?
I'm golfing Wednesday, I think. So
okay.
Fuck on that.
Yeah, and you gotta stretch before and everything. You gotta.
Oh God, no.
You gotta feel free.
No, you gotta just
like you won like a debate.
This is gonna be a no practice swing sort of round because you can't go to driving ranges or anything like that. So you just let them rip. Let them rip on Wednesday. That's all.
I can't wait to hear all the people who are like, Joe Murray was so upset with all the golfers. What do you think about the Phil Brady, Tiger Manning? It's going to be on May 24th.
What's that, Saturday?
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Okay. Yeah, I love it. I loved it. I love the idea from the get-go, and I think they are donating all the proceeds to coronavirus efforts. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, why not? I mean, I'm wondering what the TV coverage is going to look like. I don't know if it's going to have as many cameras as a normal tournament or anything like that. I wonder if you're just going to have like one shot behind or something like that. But I'd be curious to see that. But yeah, it should be fun. I didn't watch the Tiger versus Phil back in, what was it, November? I didn't watch that just because I was cheap and I didn't want to pay for it. And I don't know. I just wasn't around to it. But yeah, I definitely watched this. I'd see if, Peyton or Brady, or if they can keep up with those guys, or maybe if they slice it into the woods 800 yards like I do. That'd be entertaining to see. So I'm looking forward to that.
The betting odds right now are
what are they?
Right now, Brady and Mickelson are a slight dog.
Brady and Mickelson are a dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that. I think Peyton is a slightly better golfer than Brady, I think.
Well, good point. I mean, who's been playing more golf of late, Peyton or Brady?
I don't know where Peyton lives. But I would figure it would be Brady, right? He's down in Florida. They've been pretty lenient on this whole time.
Been pretty lenient. Yeah, and I got a little tidbit. I watched that Peyton's place. Jim Nantz in his backyard. Peyton's got a little slice. Got a little slice to the left.
Does he?
Yeah. You know what? If it's about money, dude, give me Phil Mickelson all day.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy really revs up when there's a wager involved. It seems
anything.
Knowing its history.
Anything at all. Day trading. That guy's into all of it. Somebody
evenness there.
Somebody just asked Tucker, is this a podcast? No, it's a live stream, damn it.
Yeah.
And you can chat in, by the way.
Now, is there like an audio version of this that you put out? Or is it just video?
Yes, actually, Tucker.
Oh, cool.
Just Sittin Here is on Spotify, YouTube, and iTunes.
I mean, that's just the producer in me, Joe. Just teeing you up for that. You up for that plug.
So we are live right now on Facebook, Twitter, and Periscope.
We got like 2 people watching me or something.
We have 19 at the moment. We were up to 40 during our debate.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was, and we had a lot of chats.
I don't know if anybody knows who the fuck I am.
His name is Tucker Silva. Let's talk about that. He works at 98.5 The Sports Hub. He's a producer.
5 hours.
He hosts, co-host of the Fantasy Football Show.
Yep.
That's a very well-renowned show.
Yeah. It's what are we going on? Season 4 or that I've been on as co-host, something like that. It's flown by, and I'm very fortunate to have Lockhart bring me on as co-host when Rich Keefe left for EEI. I mean, Lockhart and I always shot the shit in terms of fantasy when I would be at the hub, and we just hit it off. So he thought it would be a good fit, and I think it's worked out. I think it's turned into a pretty fun show. Happy to be a part of it.
And one funny thing is the station that Tucker is broadcasting from.
Yep. See the plaque?
That's right. Back in 2009, I might have worked there.
2009.
Okay. 09 to, what was the year that Jacoby Ellsbury got hurt when he ran into Adrian Beltre?
Which time?
So I worked at I worked at, it was WB&W at the time when I was there.
Yeah, it still is.
And then we branded it Money Matters Radio.
Yep.
I was the sales manager at the station. How I got the job, Dave Cullinane reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I want to do a show at our station." And I was like, "What the fuck station is this?" And I knew it was like a business station. And then I met the owner. His name is Barry Armstrong, very nice guy. And he's like, I used to see him on like Fox 25 and like New England Cable News.
Yep. You do a lot of news hits. Yep.
And then I'd like hear him on like Howie Carr. I'd at least like know about him on there. And I'm like, oh shit, like this is like a real radio station. Like business people like this, and probably 50 plus, that kind of like demographic. Well, Dave hit me up, and I wanted to do a Monday through Friday show.
Yep.
And so they gave me the opportunity to do a show in the morning, which was good because I could get my reps in and then go to my other job.
Right.
Well, while I was doing that, I was selling ads. And like, dude, not for nothing, like a 5,000 watt station doesn't really have a big signal. But people wanted to support me. It was like podcasted like this is right now.
Yeah, and just to add to the 5,000 watt factor is that like when the sun goes down, big factor in the signal.
There you go.
So it was tough to sell for that, and you did a pretty good job of it from what I hear.
Yeah, so what I did, I started selling, and Barry was like, "Hey, why don't you come work for me?"
Yeah,
and so I started working for Barry, and he taught me a lot of things, and I'm like, all right, well, I only know sports, so I mean, this is probably the same thing, and instead of doing sports topics, you do business topics. What's the stock market is, what's, going on in the world. What about your financial future and your planning and your, mortgages and
So did you have
tax.
did you have to mix that business related stuff into your show, or you just strictly a
No,
sports show?
nope, strictly sports.
Yeah.
And I think what was good is the listener
Mm-hmm.
was into the finance so much that they enjoyed the sports talk early in the morning. So like they'd get the sports talk out of the way, and then it would be like, all right, let's get to business.
Yeah,
It'd be a stock show right up after me.
Yeah, it was a good fit.
And so it worked for me. I got a lot of reps in, and I met people along the way, and they built that beautiful studio that you're in now.
Yeah.
And Barry went on to have.
I can't turn around the camera because it's a giant Mac, but a lot has changed since you've been here, Joe. The big table, the big conference table is gone. We have a news desk right in front of me here, so because we broadcast on Facebook Live too. So a lot's changed here, but yeah, they're doing a tremendous job here.
And listen, if you own this guy owns a radio station and owns an advisory group about your finances.
Yeah.
And the people who come on the show, I'm not going to say solicit their business, but educate the listeners. And, because they're in the financial field, so they can use that leverage of radio to promote their business and educate the listeners.
Yeah, and lately over the past couple months, obviously during the pandemic, we've really been an outlet for financial education in terms of, the stimulus package, what's going on with the stock market during the pandemic and how people can get their money, what's the unemployment benefits, can 1099 workers get unemployment, just on down the list. I mean, everything was just happening so fast, as we all know, during this pandemic. So we were really a great resource for the listener during these trying times. I mean, obviously, you're obviously trying to keep your safe and healthy and everything like that. And B, you're trying to keep your finances healthy during that. So these guys have done a tremendous job and helping out the best way possible with that. So,
and dude, I was a young kid at the time. I didn't think about my future.
Yeah.
But there were days where I'm sitting there and I'm like next to a guy who's like loaded, like, wow, this guy is
very
like
smart.
This guy's a smart millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just this young kid and he's talking to me and like, I'm taking it in, man. Like it was like, talk to me, keep feeding me more and more and more, because I wish I say this honestly, I wish then I started to take advantage of those things, because I just told you 2009, we're in now in 2020. If I put $5,000 away then, dude, it'd be 10, 15, 20,000 now.
Yeah, easily. I mean, I have regrets about that here too, Joe. Just looking back at my 16, 17, 18-year-old self or whatever, and it's just like, well, should I buy this other Xbox game that I have 12 of, or should I maybe start saving a little bit and maybe start investing? And I wish I I'd start investing more. And I've learned that this week actually marks my 5th year here at the Financial Exchange. Believe it or not, it's flown by, and I've tried to become a sponge and really just soak up the financial knowledge that they have on a daily basis. And I'll pick their brains off air too, about my portfolio and the best methods to save and everything like that. And I've learned a ton being here, and it's been a great experience. But yeah, I definitely wish I went back and I saved more and invested more, and I didn't understand how any of that I didn't understand how the fucking stock market worked. I had no idea.
Oh, the S&P today and the
But God knows that they teach us fucking pre-cal or algebra in high school, something that I use daily.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, dude. I agree with you.
Like, can we reevaluate the whole high school situation in terms of what they're teaching kids? Because I guarantee that if kids understood what their finances would look like after college and paying back student loans, they would change their minds in terms of what colleges they went to, because they didn't fucking get it at the time. I mean, just my little soapbox there.
And while you're on that,
kids,
and while you're on that, dude, there were people when I was there that were trying to find ways on how to pay for their kids' college early on.
Sure.
So when they were older, they didn't have to shell out those kind of money. They already had a fund for it.
I mean, that's another thing I've learned here is like, my kid was born 16 months ago, and the first month I opened up a 529 plan, and I have a credit card to that pays and rewards to that 529 plan. So I'll just use that with every purchase, and it accumulates dollars in his 529 plan. Shit like that, I would have never picked up on ever had I not really been a part of the financial exchange there. So
I'm not only a former employee, and Tucker is not only an employee there. We're also clients, and I would tell you, honestly, if you ever thought about like your future in investment planning or your portfolio, like it's worth giving Armstrong Advisory a call. This isn't we're not getting to do that. There's nothing here, but like they'll do a free consultation.
Listen to the show first.
Yeah. No, but like they'll do a free consultation, and boom. If you think it's a fit,
solid family-run company.
Literally, and I mean that. So, all right, how'd you make it to the Sports Hub? How'd you get into 98.5 the Sports Hub?
So I made it to the Sports Hub. I graduated in 2010 in July. I had a couple connections where I landed an interview with Rick and Mike Thomas, or Rick Radzik and Mike Thomas.
Connections.
Just to, I mean, that's really what this business is about. And I'll get to connections in a little bit as to how I ended up here. And I interviewed with Rick and Mike about an overnight gig that wasn't available. They said, okay, well, we'll keep you in mind. It was nice meeting you and everything. 2 weeks later, they called me back and they said, hey, Kevin Collins is leaving. He actually ended up leaving for the Patriots. Do you want the job? You'd have to work overnights. Your life would change pretty much dramatically, but this is how you get in the foot of your door. Do you want this opportunity? And I said, yes, of course. So I did overnights for about 2.5 years there, mainly on the weekends, but here and there during the weekdays. And then that progressed to working on literally every show on the Hub for a couple of years at that point. And then there were a couple of shifts where I worked some games, or I went in the locker room. But mainly it was just kind of shifting around as a part-timer. But then it got to a point where, I needed income. I was about like 25 years old. I need more of an income. So I got a full-time marketing job, and I fucking hated my life. And not here, at a different company, a giant global corporation where I fucking hated it. And I got laid off from that job about 2 years after that point, and that was just really a turning point in my life where it's just like, all right, what are you going to do? Are you going to go full out for radio or what? So I reached out to, bring it back to connections, reached out to Mike Riley, who just joined the Sports Hub. I met him on a weekend shift, and I asked him, I was like, hey, if you hear of any radio opportunities or anything like that, just let me know. I could really use some hours. He was like, yeah, of course, you got it. Yep. Sergeant Charge. And no
charge from the Sarge.
So Sarge was working here at Money Matters Radio as a board op in addition to the Sports Hub. And Dave Cullinane hired me through Mike Riley.
Also on this podcast this week.
Connections. Yeah. And Mike was one of the Cullinane and Riley were on this podcast. And I started board opping here, the same board. And 6 months later, as Dave talked about the other day, he had an opportunity with WRKO with Kim Kerrigan and the morning show there. So he went to do that. And 6 months from when I started here at Money Matters, he was like, hey, do you want the financial exchange job? And I said, yeah, absolutely. So I've been executive producer of the show for 5 years now this week. It's come full circle. So now in the Hub, I'm literally just working weekends as a board op, 5 hours a week, and then I got the fantasy show on Sunday mornings. But it's just funny. What's that?
That's a great gig. Work Monday through Friday here, then on the weekends you get to produce and you get to work on air at the number one radio station in Boston.
Yeah, it doesn't suck. I mean, I'm very, very lucky and fortunate, and it's a good situation. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, I forgot. But yeah, radio is really about connections and just busting your ass and not giving up. I mean, there's so many times, Joe, where, I would have a Saturday overnight and all my friends were out and I'd be like, fuck, is this really going to work? Is this going to work for me? And, I always thought about throwing in the towel and just kind of like giving up on radio, but one thing led to another. I kept plugging away, and fortunate to be where I am right now.
I hear you, man. We're grinding every single day,
You grind the fuck out.
And dude, not for nothing,
radio.
not for nothing, but like, you that station's evolved over time.
Yeah, and I work with Jason Wolf, who is a major part of WEEI and their success back in their heyday, which I used to listen to all the fucking time when I was in those cars defrosting all the snow off the cars and customers' cars. I would sit in the car for a while and listen to the Big Show, and I would listen to, Tony Maz on there and Steve Buckley on the Big Show, and just go down the list. Dale and Holly I would listen to for hours every day, and that really drove my love for sports radio.
I wonder if
part of that.
If I got him on this podcast, do you think he'd? Do you think I
would do it?
I wonder if Jason would do it. I think he'd be an interesting.
I think he would be a tremendous guest.
Yeah, my thing is this: like, we've had Jimmy Stewart on, we had Arcand on, we've had Ty Anderson on.
Yeah.
Who, and dude, you could probably agree with me here. We work in the sports hub, but we don't heat anybody at WE. Like, it's not like all those guys talk.
No, I don't really know.
I think an extent. I don't know anybody like on the morning show. We know Keith.
Chris
Curtis. Like we know guys, but like I don't dislike anybody. I like Wig. We work with Wiggy. I mean, when we saw, what I mean? Like,
well, really.
But what I'm saying is, like, there's not this like, Yankees versus Red Sox hatred, or like they're just like guys that work across the street, and
it's competition.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like this town does need 2 sports stations.
Yeah, absolutely, it does.
And when he was there, it was one of the top radio stations, and now he's not. And like, what the fuck is going on there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, here at the station with Jason.
Yeah, no, I'm saying at EEI.
I'm sorry, EEI.
He left, and now what's going on there? And he's working with you guys, and I don't know. Seems like for a small radio station that people know the show. If you listen to Howie Carr or these other shows, like, they know everybody that's a part of the financial exchange.
Yeah, and
it's growing, and it's going to other markets, and there's advertising.
Yeah, I mean, we're
behind a lot of that.
Yeah, we're on 15 different affiliates throughout New England. Jason's been a massive part of that, and we've groomed some new hosts over the past couple of years to full-time hosts, and Jason's just been instrumental during that. I've learned a ton from Jason during my 5 years here. So the guy is just a genius when it comes to radio. He really is.
I'd like to see if he'd open up a little. That's all. My only question. I don't know.
I think he would on your podcast. I definitely think he would.
Yeah. Take your word for it.
Yeah.
You know this guy down here, Mark Gemelli?
I do know Mark. Yeah. I know Mark. Yeah.
He loves the podcast.
I just I love Mark.
He might have named the podcast.
Right? Huh?
He might have named the podcast.
He did name the podcast. Yeah. He actually wants some money because of that,
Nope.
Some royalties.
I want fucking meatballs is what I want.
Yeah. Oh, you don't get up.
Yeah, I'll go down to the north end. People feel like Kirk tried to fuel that competition. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk is he's been very competitive.
Good, good for all those guys. I mean that. Like, Kirk's doing his thing on Barstool. Jerry Callahan's trying to get up and do his thing, and like, good. People still want to listen to what those guys have to say. Like,
yeah, there's still big voices,
and I think that's why I want to do a stream like this, Tucker. Like, obviously, like, I work weekends, or I'm like the fucking fill-in guy. I'm the fill-in's fill-in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know when I'm going to be on. I have a time slot at 7 a.m. on Saturday mornings, like, But I feel like with terrestrial radio, a lot of people just hear the Monday through Friday bullshit, and they like just assume that that's what everyone is, or that's what everyone's mindset is.
Right.
And I completely disagree. And like, that's what I mean with the EI. Like, there's guys who work there that I think are fucking extremely talented.
Mm-hmm.
Are they able to do it there? Is it because of the pressure of the ratings? Is it because they listen to, what's going on with their advertisers? At the Sports Hub, I feel like you could work a weekend show, work the board, but your voice can be heard with an opinion. You know what I mean? Like, where like I host a show, like, I might not want to fucking talk sports one day, I might just want to talk about what's on the television.
Yeah, and I feel
know?
like that's one of the strong suits of the Hub is they can go off. They let hosts go off in a tangent for, as an hour plus on something that's totally not related to sports. And I think that's been a major part of the station's success is just trusting every host, whether it's full or part-time, and trusting their creativity and their radio sense. I think that's been a major part of the Hub's success.
And not for nothing, you're a part of a fantasy football show, which people try, right? People have tried to do a fantasy football show. You hear about like we know that there's other outlets. CBS Sports is out there. There are other places that you can find fantasy.
DEI has one.
Yeah, and I don't even know about it. And it's not because I'm disrespecting them. It's because when are they on? When is it on?
Mike Lockhart was the first.
Okay, that's what I mean. So like I only know of the sports hubs because it's promoted. Right. I know when it's on. It's on before Patriots pregame on a Sunday.
It's really a perfect setup. It really is.
And like,
Mike recognized that.
And like you're a part of that. Myself and Dan Lifshutz, we started a podcast about gambling.
Yeah, it's taking the fuck off.
It took off. We have a sponsor.
Yep.
And like, right now the momentum
you have a sponsor. You might want to mention who that sponsor is because it's a major fucking sponsor, Joe. This isn't like Joe, Joe's Garage.
Joe's Pizza Shop.
It's fucking DraftKings you guys have sponsored radio.
And this isn't here we go. Yeah, all right. Here we go. Patting each other.
It's a big deal, Joe.
But what I'm saying is that those little niches have made it in this market. It isn't blown up yet. It hasn't.
Or niche. I never knew.
Niche.
That just reminds me of quiche now.
Oh, I'm hungry. What is it? Niche or niche?
I don't know.
Like Mark Gemelli, is it gnocchi or gnocchis?
It's gnocchi.
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 With a G?
Gnocchi. Gnocchi.
Gnocchis.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mark Gemelli. What is it? I need to know.
I don't
know. What were we talking? Anyways, niche. These are niche things that are going on in the area, and it's going all right.
Yeah.
Who knows where we'll go? Hopefully, I will be here in another year. All right, I'm waiting on this Patriots announcement for the Hall of Fame.
Was it at noon?
I'm gonna look at it, but what were your thoughts on schedule day for the Patriots?
Oh, who gives a fuck? Honestly. Like, I mean, yeah, I was definitely interested to see the schedule, but just like, talk to me when we get to, September or whatever, or training camp at least, so we can actually look at and salivate over the fucking schedule. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't like watching the NFL Network and glued to my TV like the draft or anything like that. It's just like, all right, that's the schedule. That's nice. Move on.
Have you seen the schedule, man?
It's tough. Tough schedule. Let me pull it up, but
real quick, I have the betting odds if you'd like.
I would. Sky Blue? Yeah.
Week 1, the Patriots host the Dolphins. The line is -6.5 Patriots.
See, I saw it 9.5 somewhere.
It opened at 7.5.
Oh wow!
This has like been for a while.
Yeah.
I saw one of the places had them at 9.5, and that's because I think they know, like they know what's going to happen day one. Because all right, I'll go over the schedule. You can pull it up. So the first 4 weeks they play at home, on the road, home, on the road, and they are home against the Dolphins, on the road against the Seahawks, home against the Raiders, and then against the Chiefs. I think that Dolphins game they need, and I think it's going to be a revenge game because of what happened last year. Like, I think they're going to have the whole offseason to focus on it.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be jacked up for that game. Whoever the starting quarterback is, Stidham, they're going to be all jacked up because it's turning the page on an era in the Patriots dynasty. Let's hope it still remains a dynasty, but those players are going to be jacked up, ready to go. That's going to be a big defensive performance by the Patriots defense. And yeah,
Tua
versus the Dolphins with Stidham there. So
could it be Tua versus Stidham week 1? Could it be, I don't know, Fitz Hoyer? That would be gross.
I wonder if they will just throw out Tua in game 1 against Belichick. It might just be Fitzpatrick, just because of his recent success against Belichick. You just referenced the game, the disaster in latter part of last year. So yeah, that might be the approach that Flores takes. Maybe just throws Fitzpatrick out there.
Chan Gailey being their offensive coordinator, I know he's ancient, dude.
Yeah.
But he runs a spread, like an Alabama spread, like how they run their offense. I think it's perfect for Tua. I actually think it's pretty good for Fitzpatrick too. But I think it's made for Tua. And hey, if these guys can run off corners, Tua might be able to run around a little bit. So just something to keep in there.
I just saw the caption that popped up.
Oh yeah, it's Gnocchi.
Yeah, but that's how you spell Gnocchi. We don't know how it's pronounced via that caption.
Gnocchi.
That's literally the spelling of Gnocchi. But we don't know how it's pronounced. It solves nothing. I could have fucking Googled that. It's Mark.
Gnocchi. Gnocchi. We'll never know. Like, you ever hear people say bolognese? Bolognese?
Some nays, dude. I just say nays.
See, that's
right for the chase.
I say bolognese.
I say nays. Nays and.
And then, like, the funniest guy is Zoe. Whenever you try to get him to, like, say something like Italian, he bolognese, and the other he said trattoria. I'm like, dude,
trattoria,
trattoria, buddy. Like,
trattoria,
whatever. He's a big. So, by the way, that's the highest rated midday show, and he chats during this show.
Yeah,
he chats in during this podcast.
Does he?
Yep.
Is he now? I don't even know.
Whoa, who's this guy?
Oh, that's my dad.
Gnocchi.
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 Gnocchi. No, that's not it.
That can't be it.
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
It's nah, like nah.
Nah.
Key.
Gnocchi. Not Gnocchi.
Not Gnocchi. I want to Gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
I love it. So key, K-E-E. Not like key.
There's always those words, man. We just never
all
know.
Good shit.
All right, let's get through the schedule. Right. They travel to Seahawks. I'm not buying the Seahawks hype. I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
I mean, tell me who their running back is besides a banged up running back. Whether it's Chris Carson or Marshawn Lynch, if he decides to go back there again. I mean, it doesn't seem like the Seahawks can ever get a solid offensive line there. Russell Wilson's a freak, but yeah, a lot of question marks on that team. And that defense looks like it's getting a little bit older.
Maybe no Clowney either.
Right. I mean, Clowney's still out there, and he might go back for less money. But Clowney wasn't even that solid last year. He was iffy.
What about Rashad Penny?
Whatever. He's like a slimmer Eddie Lacy, really. Like, just kind of irrelevant. But I heard on the way into work here, Rich on Tucker and Rich made the point that, referencing Jeff Howe, that there very well could not be the 12th man advantage in that Seattle game because of what's going on with COVID. You know, are there going to be fans in the stand? Is it going to be reduced capacity? I assume it would be in September if that's when games actually do start playing. So that's a massive factor because that's usually the biggest home field advantage in sports is the Seahawks Stadium. Right. So that's a huge point by Jeff Howe that he made.
Do you know that they pay the Texas A&M school the rights for the 12th man because the 12th man's owned by the Texas A&M college?
Really?
The 12th man owned by Texas A&M.
Not important to them.
They need it, man. Just the 12th man. Stupid. You don't have a cutoff time, right, Tucker? Do you have to leave? Right
1:30.
Okay. All right. No. Well, that's good. I just didn't know.
I still got to cut audio, and I have to go. I got to go get my groceries.
Oh,
I gotta get my mask on. Yeah.
I have a story about Instacart that I could share with you shortly. Let's knock out this schedule. So the Raiders, they host the Raiders next. The Raiders have to go West Coast to East Coast week 3.
When?
It's a Sunday.
West Coast team coming to the East Coast, 1:00.
Yeah, 1:00.
When?
Yeah, exactly. Done.
Oh, and by the way, they're the Raiders.
Yeah, and they're good. They've improved. They're going to be better coached.
No, yeah, they definitely have improved, but they're still fucking Raiders. Derek Carr is the quarterback of that team.
Patriots are -6. So I am 3-0 right now. I'm 3-0. And you're going to be surprised at my my record.
See, I'm still not giving the Patriots the win in Seattle. But I'm seeing it as 2-2.
Okay.
But keep going.
The Patriots then travel to Kansas City, and but the fans, like, that's going to be interesting. They're 8.5-point dogs. I think they lose by 10 or more.
Yeah, I totally see that just getting steamrolled in Kansas City. I mean, obviously a lot can happen in 3 games on the injury front. You never know, but I mean, that just screams loss, doesn't it?
Yeah. So this is the
What's
tricky
the spread on that? Is there a spread on that one?
8.5.
Oh, wow. I would pound the Chiefs on that.
So check this out. They play the Broncos next at home at 1:00. They're -5, which is the ugliest number. And then they're on the bye week, and then they play the 49ers at home. So this is like a legit look-ahead game.
And there's a bye week mixed in there, yeah.
Yep. So, like, I think the Broncos are going to be improved.
Yeah.
Honestly, Lindsay.
The Broncos are one of the sneakiest, best offenses in the NFL, to be honest.
I agree.
And they're not being talked about. Yeah, Cortland Sutton, Drew Lock looked like he was pretty solid when he came on. Let's see what he does this year when teams have more film on him. Melvin Gordon, like you just mentioned. Then you have Phillip Lindsay, who's a receiving running back. I think he's a prime, like, James White role there. Noah Fant really came on strong. He's going to be a stud tight end for them. And then they drafted what's his face there?
Wide receiver
there. Judy. They drafted Judy, didn't
they? Judy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a great offense.
Yeah. And some guys turned it on for them last year. And then they got that Albert Okwuegbunam tight end. Okwuegbunam.
Oh, they got him? I didn't even see that.
Yeah. So they got 2 tight ends there.
That's going to be a solid offense. So that's going to be a tougher game than people are giving it credit for, I think.
And then 2 weeks of Jimmy G, a bye week, and then a Sunday 4:25 prime time. Patriots are +2 versus the 49ers.
They're dogs?
+2 at home.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
I have them losing that game.
Yeah.
That defense is good.
Yeah, that defense really is solid. I mean, the offensive line is definitely going to have their hands full with Bosa and everything like that. So, yeah, I could see that being a loss. I love the 49ers. Such a well-run organization, solid team they got. I was really bummed that they lost that Super Bowl.
So check this out. They go on the road. They play at Buffalo, +3 of the Pats. And then they play at the Jets.
Yeah, that's a win.
Okay. And then they host the Ravens on Sunday Night Football in New England, +2.5 dogs.
Circling back to the Bills, they should split that series.
I think so. I think they're going to lose.
They'll go 1-1.
I think they're going to lose in Buffalo on that 1:00 game after the 49ers. Like, they could lose 2 in a row.
Yeah, I mean,
49ers, Bills.
Last year was tough in Buffalo.
Yeah, and dude, the game at the end of the year, they got lucky. If Brady and Edelman didn't turn into Brady and Edelman, they lose that game. And if Ryan Allen doesn't piss down his leg, they win that game too.
Or Josh Allen.
Who did I say? Ryan Allen?
Ryan, the punter.
Yeah, I wonder if he could throw.
Probably better than Allen. Guy sucked.
Maybe. And then the Ravens. That's not good. And then they go to the Texans again. And I know we say what we want about the Texans. They blew the Pats out last year.
What do you mean again?
They last year the Pats went to the Houston and lost.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
On national TV, they got their asses kicked.
I mean, Watson playing at home is really a different animal. Yeah. He carves it up in Houston indoors.
And then Arizona, I'm weird about. I feel like they should be better than 5 wins, but the Pats are listed right now as 5.5-point favorites.
So I have Arizona making the playoffs this year.
Ooh, so the total right now 7.5 win total for them.
I would pound the over on that. I think they're a sneaky team to get into the playoffs. That offense is going to be really, really good, I think. That DeAndre Hopkins pickup, wow. That's going to be so lethal with Kyler Murray.
Plus, Murray can run around and just let him get space,
Right.
And just
and by the way,
up to him,
they still have Larry Fitzgerald, who's still very effective.
Playing in the spot now.
Christian Kirk really
love Christian Kirk. Texas.
Yeah, I do too. That's going to be a great offense. And that trade last year, I give him crap for it. Kenyon Drake, I gave him crap for it initially, but they saw the writing on the wall maybe with David Johnson.
Yeah.
So they shipped him out, and
Drake had that breakout
Drake-
game against the Pats, right? Remember the Gronk game where he played
Yep.
defense?
Yep.
Just wrapping up. They have to go on a 2-week stretch.
Mhm.
Sunday night football at the Chargers, and then Thursday night football at the Rams. Then they go back to Miami at the end of the year, and then they wrap up.
I'm just gonna say that's a win because Brady could never win in Miami.
They wrap up the last 2 games of the year.
Although they did smoke him in Miami last year.
Yeah, with Antonio.
Antonio.
And then they wrap up the year home against the Bills and then home against the Jets. So that Bills game they need to win at home.
They have 3 straight games against AFC East opponents.
Yep.
I gotta stand. My legs are killing me. Jesus. All right.
It's that chair. You felt intimidated.
Yeah, I know. now I'm taller. Now I feel like I'm too tall.
Your dad said he texted you. Seattle will pump in crowd noise, someone said. And Mark Gemelli says Calhoun's. No, it's Kowloon.
Calhoun's. Calhoun's.
Kowloon. Hi, Andy Wong. I don't know if Andy has Facebook though. He might have Twitter. Yeah, anyways, still waiting on that. Oh, by the way, the Bucks opening night at the Saints +4. The last time Tom Brady was an underdog in Week 1. Did you know this question?
I heard it this morning, but go ahead.
Buffalo Bills.
He was a dog against the Bills?
Way back when?
Oh, was that the game where he got leveled?
31-0 they lost.
Was that the game? Yeah.
The Lawyer Malloy game.
Right. Yeah. They had no shot of winning that game. I mean, you cut Lawyer Malloy right before, like that week, was it, or whatever? It's just like, oh, no chance. No chance. That game was over from the get-go.
Do you believe in the Buffalo Bills at all?
No, I believe in McDermott. I don't believe in Josh Allen, and I think that's going to kill them this year. I mean, how do you watch that Texans-Bills game in the playoffs, them absolutely choke it, and it's just like, this guy can't be a starting quarterback. He's a mental case. Total mental case.
So, they got a lot of weapons around him this year, though. They believe in him.
They do, and it's, can he hit those weapons? Can he? Like, I mean, how many times have we seen Josh Allen overthrow a wide open receiver? It's just I don't believe in him. I really don't.
And if Diggs doesn't get the ball early, he could be a malcontent.
Yeah, he could get pissed. He could get really pissed and maybe stir up things in the locker room. We saw, those rumors circulating in the Minnesota Vikings locker room that he was not happy. So now you're getting Josh Allen. So enjoy that, Stephon Diggs. So
yeah, I don't know if you've looked into it yet, but any fantasy football sleepers this year?
I'm so off the radar. Off the radar with that.
You got time. You got time.
I mean, fantasy baseball hasn't even started yet. For God's sakes,
we got the.
I really start cranking right when training camp kicks off. I'll dive in and see what each team did in the offseason, how rookies are being received. That's when I really dial it up. I'll take like a whole couple weeks and really just dive into it at that point.
So Jim Harbaugh, the coach of Michigan, wants kids to be able to choose when they want to leave to go to the NFL, and if they don't get drafted and they still have eligibility, should be able to go back to school. What are your thoughts on that?
So yeah, I saw this in your email. So he wants say that again. I don't really get it.
Like let's say like Leonard Fournette, right?
Yeah,
he had that great freshman and sophomore year, but couldn't go into the NFL draft because you can only go until when you're a junior. So like a lot of these guys have these great years, like Tua Tagovailoa, right? Like
never graduate.
Exactly. So
if somebody wants to get an education, go back to school, they should be allowed to.
Yeah, but but I'm saying go back and play.
Oh, go back and play?
Yeah, for example, like Thaddeus Moss didn't get drafted this year from LSU. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he didn't get drafted, he can now has the chance to go back to LSU and play again.
Yeah, but it was his choice to sign with an NFL team, and I'm sure he would have done that even if this option existed. Because
but there's some. The NBA does it.
I mean, what are your thoughts? I think once you're done with school, you're done with school. That's a part of your decision-making process.
So the Patriots picked up a kid named Jonathan Thomas from Miami this year. He was going to get kicked out of school, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. He's just got issues.
Right.
But so what he did was, instead of finishing school, he just said, I'm going to declare for the NFL. So he gets an agent, and then he doesn't get drafted. Patriots sign him as an undrafted free agent. They'll play for him. But like, he couldn't then go back to Miami. You get it? But another school could have picked him up if he could have passed the grades.
I just think you're going down a weird road if you open up a rule like that. Just keep it like it is.
And there's some basketball players,
kids while you're at it.
There are some basketball players that go to the combine and then they get graded like, oh, you're a first round pick or you're a second round pick, and if they get graded a second round pick, they go back to school.
Right.
You know? So
I mean, I could see something like that, but once you make the decision to take an NFL opportunity, then that should be it.
Right. So maybe everyone is eligible to go to the combine, and then from the combine,
and then you get a grade.
And then you can choose to either.
Like, hey, listen, you're probably so you should probably go back to school.
Okay,
that's fine. That I could get behind. Yeah, sure.
The Jordan documentary. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah. So I am 4 episodes deep, and yeah, I like it so far.
It's the gambling stuff.
So yeah, that's what I need to see next. I was listening to Felger Maz recap an episode that I hadn't watched yet. And I'll be honest, I had no idea that's what happened to Jordan's father. I had no idea he was murdered.
He was murdered. We don't know why.
The reasons, but yeah, it's definitely sketchy. But I didn't know in the first place that his father was murdered. I was too young at the time. 97, right?
And everyone knows the story. He won 3 and disappeared from basketball for a year to play baseball. And his father.
So that I learned, believe it or not, and I don't know if that was widely known amongst my age group, and I'm sorry if I didn't know that, but that's something I learned, and so I'm looking at the whole backstory to that.
He said he wanted to play baseball.
Yeah, but it's totally gambling.
Well, we assume that, but we don't know. But he tried.
Why would the greatest basketball player of all time go play baseball?
Well, that's what they're doing in the documentary. If you watch, he's bored. He's tired.
Baseball.
He can't take a shit without somebody around him. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't feel bad for him, actually, because he makes so much money.
Yeah, but like that comes with the territory, man. You're the greatest basketball player on the planet.
Well, like
with the territory.
When you watch though, like, dude, he can't. That's what they made it out that he also has creative control with this. But yeah, when you watch, it's like he's over it. He is over it. And he's always nice to kids. He goes to the hospitals like he does. And I think Jordan, if he wants to gamble, he can gamble. Like he had an issue with he lost $57,000 to some dude who was like not a good guy. And so he had to go to court.
Did he admit that was gambling?
It was a gamble debt. Yeah. So he had to go to court because the guy got in trouble, and they were like, "What's this $57,000 from fucking Michael Jordan? A personal check?" And Jordan was like, "Yeah, it was part of a gambling loss."
So he had to go to court for that?
Yeah, so because he
didn't file it.
He was a witness. No, the guy was like
probably tax related.
Yep, but Jordan had to go, and it was like, oh, what the fuck's this?
And then that got all the spotlight, obviously.
Exactly. And then this guy wrote a book who he goes golfing with, and I guess they like big bucks. And some of the people he was associated with were legitimately mob people, bad people.
I mean, that's always been the rumor and kind of really known about Jordan is gambling, really. And
a couple of things we haven't heard yet. He said that if Horace Grant played a bad game, he couldn't eat after bad games.
Yeah, I saw this. Why? Like, if I was Horace Grant, I'd be like, who the hell are you? Michael Jordan? Like,
he's such a bully in this series.
Like, I need to eat.
Yeah. This is so weird, but last night I worked the night show last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I got home about midnight, and Space Jam was on at 1:00.
Let me guess what channel. VH1.
No, it was on.
It had to have been VH1.
BET Her.
What?
Maybe. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. So I'm watching it, and basically Michael quit playing basketball. You've watched the movie.
Oh yeah, Space Jam. Of course.
They're like, oh, you're late for your baseball game. He's like, I don't play basketball anymore.
Oh yeah, that was like a major storyline in that.
But watching Space Jam and then watching the documentary at the same time, it all adds up. Holy shit. It's so weird. I wanted to tell you one other thing. So Michael Jordan, I guess, couldn't go grocery shopping or go to stores or anything because, the media. So I guess
I mean,
he
that's
would.
that's the one thing I feel bad about these, wildly famous people is just like they can't live a normal life, and it's just like, oh, woe is me, woe is me.
Well, have you ever been in a mall or a grocery shop when they say, "Hey, the mall's closing in 10 minutes" or whatever? Well, when that happened, they would call Michael and be like, "Hey, we're closing, but we'll stay open for you." And so everyone would leave, and then that's when Jordan would go and do his grocery shopping.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what it would be like if everybody. How many people would come up to him on a given day? Like 20 something, maybe more. Like,
More.
had to have been more every day. Oh God, that would drive me insane. It's just like, can he go out to eat? He would have to probably close the restaurant down if he wanted to take his family out to eat or something like that.
Yeah.
And just like, oh God, I can't imagine that life.
So I tried Instacart for the first time.
What'd you think of it? Because I don't subscribe to Instacart. I haven't on Prime, but
I went right on. It was easy. I paid for it. It was done. But so I ordered lettuce, baby spinach. I ordered baby spinach and spring mix in a bag for my wife and a cucumber. So that was it. Because I'm out on salad. I'm out on lettuce and all that bullshit.
why?
Because I eat it. Do I look like a guy who eats a salad?
All that bullshit.
All right. Anyways, so I ordered a 12-pack of Diet Dr. Pepper. And so all the bags come, and I'm like, "Where's my Dr. Pepper?" So I unload everything, and there's an extra bag. No Dr. Pepper. And I open the bag up, and it's a fucking box of baby spinach. A box.
What do you mean a box?
Like those little container boxes of vegetables.
So a normal container of salad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Box.
That a fucking ball of lettuce, like a lettuce roll.
A head of lettuce.
A head of lettuce.
Yeah.
And then fucking what are those things that Tom Brady loves? The fucking what are like the things the ice cream avocados. There were fucking 9 avocados in a bag.
Do you eat avocados?
No, I don't eat lettuce, avocados, and there was another thing of fucking. So I don't love. I like floret broccoli. I like the florets. Okay,
floret.
They were the ones that I already cut, like the cut heads.
A crown?
Yes, I don't want that fucking big ass lettuce head, not lettuce head, broccoli head, because it tastes like shit. I'm sorry, it does.
Chop it up.
No,
chop it up.
Anyway. So I'm insulted because I didn't get my damn soda and they gave me avocado, a head of lettuce, and fucking a box of shit.
Okay. Box of shit.
So I texted, I'm like, I want my soda. You gave me a bag that's not mine.
So I understand your frustration. Just real quick, I've been doing curbside pickup at a grocery store, and I'd be lying if I said there wasn't something wrong with every single order. I can't get too upset with it because they're just overwhelmed right now. They're so overwhelmed with everything. I guarantee you that their mistakes, whether it's Instacart or any store, would be far less had we not been in a pandemic. So I just cut them some slack, really.
They didn't actually mess up they just didn't. They gave me a bag of shit I don't want.
Yeah, I mean,
imagine if it was a bag of chips and Rice Krispies treats and fucking fruit by the foots. I'd be like,
could you imagine a world without fruit by the foot? God, and you're complaining about complaining about golfers. My God.
No, but it was a good experience though. They came on time.
Oh, I think it's the future, Joe. I really do think it's the future. Not just maybe Instacart, but I think stores offering some sort of a curbside pickup or something like that. My man Peter doesn't like Instacart. Have you heard, by the way, of what's going on with some customers of Instacart? Have you heard of this tip baiting?
Tipping?
Tip baiting. So there's been cases of people using the Instacart service baiting drivers and shoppers with a large tip, and then Instacart's system is that you can settle up your tip once your groceries are delivered to you, which I think have changed because of this tip baiting. But you'd see people who would put down a large tip of like $50 or something like that. And the shopper would just be like, oh, well, this guy's offering me $50. I'm going to go take that guy. And then the people would just yank the $50 and give him like $2 and just, go F yourself pretty much.
They're going to have to do what Uber does eventually.
So I think that Instacart did change that policy, but it's just like the fact that people were tip baiting like that. Oh,
Yeah. I
bad people.
I gave 20% ahead of time because it like puts in 5% and you can just hit send, and I'm like,
So you're doing 20%?
I did 20. Well, the reason why I wanted, I mean, like I'm doing this to like take out people right now, and you know,
I mean, I normally don't tip takeout. I haven't been getting takeout at all, just because
I'll be honest with you, I never used to tape on because I'm just picking it up, you know.
I'm an advocate of not tipping on takeout unless it's like a massive order, like a New Year's Day, like Chinese food order, I'll tip. But other than that, if it's a regular takeout, I'm not tipping. But during this pandemic, I really hope that people are tipping 20% or more because God knows they need the help.
Yeah,
restaurants are in dire need of any help you can give them. So
help,
tip 20% and more at least.
I know owners that are like in the grill at places because they need the help, you know, and they're the one.
I mean, it's literally down to single digits in terms of people working at restaurants, and a lot of the times it is the owner in the kitchen.
All right. So a couple more here, Tucker, and I'll get you out of here in like 5 or 10 minutes.
Right.
So have you heard the Earl Thomas story?
So I saw his video, and I just read like a quick headline of what happened. Do you mind just recapping?
So Earl Thomas got our Airbnb with his brother and some
what? He got a what?
Airbnb.
Oh, he said Airbnb.
Oh, Airbnb. You know, it's that Boston accent. Yeah, Airbnb. Yeah. And his wife went on his Snapchat, logged in, and found his location. Mm-hmm. Showed up with a gun with her girls, and like basically like put a gun to his head.
Whoa. Say that again.
Yes, he was at an Airbnb with his brother and some hoes or some girls, and
so he's at an Airbnb with his brother and some hoes
and women.
Okay.
And his wife went on Snapchat and logged into his name and found his location.
Oh God!
And then showed up with her friends and had a gun and put a gun to his head.
Jesus!
He wrestled the gun from her. And then, like, they had to call the cops or whatever.
That's a bad situation.
Saw his video, and his video was like, "This is just a bad time right now for us. You know, this is just, it's the most you can do during these times." Like,
didn't he say like, "Oh, this stuff happens"?
Yeah, like a moron.
Oh, this happens. You know how it is. It was like, no, I don't know how it is. That sounds like something I've ever experienced ever. And probably ever.
If I'm Ben Roethlisberger, I'm gonna be like, Audible, Airbnb.
I mean, he's probably seen some sort of punishment, right? Because of this?
Oh, she will, because actually, who rented the Airbnb?
Why is there an Airbnb being rented during a pandemic?
Dude, I brought this same thing up.
Isn't that maybe there was some sort of illegal thing there in terms of the Airbnb leased out illegally? I
just think, though, a gun is probably going to get you in trouble more.
Guns are bad. Okay.
I was going to ask you about Mike Tyson, but we'll save that one. Show endings, Tucker. I'm going to just rattle through them.
Okay.
You give me a good or bad.
Okay. Just one word?
You can elaborate a little bit.
All right.
Seinfeld.
Not good. Not good at all. And it's just a disaster, really.
Friends.
It's fine.
The Office.
Good.
Lost.
I didn't see Lost. I heard it sucked.
Lost and Game of Thrones were both awesome shows with terrible endings.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones ending really is just one of the worst things to go down in the history of humans. Just
nobody's talked about
television season ever.
Nobody's talked about it.
Oh, I think plenty of people have talked about it.
I think you know how like everyone's like ready to go to the game, and then like when the team gets blown out, everyone just goes home and they don't discuss it.
Yeah,
like, that's what Game of Thrones is now.
Oh, now, yeah. Nobody talks about it anymore because I think everybody watched it. That was one of the most popular TV shows ever that people were watching at one given time. So there's no need to rewatch that shit.
The Sopranos.
I loved it. I'm in the camp that he was whacked. I think I don't know how more obvious they can get. And I don't really understand the criticism behind the ending.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do a podcast on what the ending. And just
what do you think? I think it was just like lazy.
You know what I think? I think we got whacked.
Who's we?
Us, the viewer.
The viewer is never a character.
But we got whacked. We don't know what's going to happen.
What?
Yes.
But the viewer is not a character. Tony Soprano's a character.
There's two things here.
The camera's focused on him the entire series.
The point of view was on Tony the whole entire time. You're right.
Yeah.
Every time someone walked through the door, he heard the ring and looked.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends with Meadow walking in and we seeing black. And we remember the conversation with Bobby on the boat. You don't know when it happens. All he knows is it goes black. And that's the conversation they had. So was Tony whacked, saw Meadow, and it went black?
But when the camera is on Meadow, so that's a first-person view of Tony. So Tony gets whacked. The camera is on Meadow from his seat.
You're not wrong, Tucker. I'm just saying, you asked me my opinion.
But I don't understand your opinion.
I think we got whacked.
Who's we? There's
Us,
no we.
the viewer.
But the camera is from Tony's point of view.
We didn't see what happened. We got whacked.
Who's we?
Black. Me and you.
No, we.
The viewer.
No. The viewer's not a character. Tony Soprano's a character. Hence why it was from his point of view. I mean, that sounds like you smoked some weird grass.
Back then, when that shit happened, I thought something went wrong with my cable.
Oh, everybody did.
I was
like, what's going on? What?
Back then, though, dude, and say whatever you want, they had Sex in the City and then Sopranos back to back every day, every show.
Yeah, I mean, I never watched Sex in the City. I heard it was pretty good, though. I don't know if you have, but that was a solid lineup from HBO.
Breaking Bad.
The actual last scene,
the ending.
I thought it was safe.
Okay, I agree.
I thought it was too safe.
What about
I enjoyed it.
What about Sons of Anarchy?
It was. I guess it was okay. I don't know. I don't really have more insight than that. I mean, is that something you can spoil? I feel like
we can. Let's not do that. Yeah. All right, we got Murray's musings.
Okay, I got 5 minutes.
Your thoughts on Nick Cage as Joe Exotic?
I was fine with it. I saw it was a lot of criticism, but I think Nick Cage is that batshit crazy that he's a perfect fit for the role.
Okay. Adele's new look. Have you seen Adele lately?
Yeah, she looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Stunning.
She what was that song? She complained a lot. What was that again?
Rolling in the Deep.
Wait.
No, that gave it away. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got it.
Jesus Christ, that wasn't even close.
I mean, she looks like a new woman, like a really new woman.
Yeah, she really does.
I got this. Hang on. I'll find it. What was that song that she did? Oh, come on. You got it because it's so.
I don't know Adele songs off the top of my head.
I set fire to the rain. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
No, hang on. I got it. I'm going to find this right now.
I set fire.
Okay. Never mind. I'll find someone like you.
The piano song. Yeah. Call that the piano song.
Now she's like, find someone like me, bitch. Because she look good.
Yeah, just came out. I mean, she was beautiful before, but obviously massive weight loss there, and it looks great.
And it was hard to process that song because I heard it so many times in my life, and then it went away. So it's like you hear something so much that you forgot it.
Right? Yeah.
Rumor has it you.
That's what it was.
Rumor has it you. Whatever. Murder Hornets.
Slightly terrifying. Do you want me to add it? I can go on. I'm more scared. I'm not scared about the stinging per se. I'm scared about the bees because bees are highly underrated in society. They really are. They don't get enough credit for keeping us.
I'm a big honey sticks guy.
You're a what guy?
I like honey sticks.
What's a honey stick?
You know those little things you bite off and you eat the honey? I get them at the top.
No, I did not know that. It's just you bite into a stick like a popsicle and it's.
No, it's like you ever get those not Pez? What are they like? Those little sugar things you rip them. And you,
yeah. They have that in honey
straws or something.
No kidding.
Yeah, like little honey sticks.
Well, either way, I'm scared for the bees. I'm scared for the bees. I'm not scared for myself.
Okay. And then we're gonna wrap it up here with we do a little something called Quarantine.
Okay.
Things that you have done during quarantine.
I mean, not much.
What
Small
shows?
backyard.
What shows have you been binging?
Binging. I just started. We were talking a couple or last weekend. I just started watching Dave on FXX. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Little Dicky.
Yep, very funny. I've been watching that.
By the way, I watched that. Charlemagne sucks. Did you see the last episode?
No, I'm literally only seen 2 episodes, but I fully intend to watch it more.
All right, you'll know that what I mean when you.
Better Call Saul every week. I was watching that. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's one of the best dramas I've ever seen. Amazing writing, amazing character development, and then the action just really increases as you go on. If you like Breaking Bad, you have to like this show.
Agree?
Yeah.
What kind of snacks have you been snacking on?
A lot of trail mix. Whether there's some M&Ms in there or some craisins or what have you, or pecans or pecans, however you want to pronounce that. Well, that's another tough word, I guess. Yeah, a ton of trail mix. I've been drinking a lot more, not like binging every day, but like I've been having like a cocktail.
Yeah, you don't have to drive, so it's like.
Well, no, it's just not just that. It's just like trying to help my stress level and everything like that. I didn't like. I don't want to sound like an alcoholic, but like my alcohol intake has gone up. I'll say that, but I'm not like getting drunk, if that makes sense. I'm just like having a drink or two, 5 days a week now, rather than 2 days a week.
Good for you. What's your favorite frozen food?
Favorite frozen food? I like pizza. I'm not a big fan of frozen pizza, but I've been having a lot of that just out of necessity. Back in the day, this sounds weird, but I used to have frozen stuffed quail hogs a lot. Put a little Frank's Red Hot on that. Oh man, it takes about half an hour to make out of the freezer, but man, they are good.
Everybody I've asked this question to has had something different.
Yeah, the stuffed quail hogs I highly recommend.
Wow. And finally, I didn't ask you this question yet. If there was one person that you could be quarantined with from the Sports Hub, who would it be?
Now, would it be just in a neutral site? Or is there family involved?
Like you guys have your own rooms, but you got to stay in the same place.
Okay, so like family's not involved or anything? Because like I like Marshall Hook, but he has 5 kids. I don't want to be near 5 kids.
You in quarantine.
I'd probably say Hardy, just because I feel like he's like, I don't know. Hardy just feels like an older brother to me, and we have a lot in common. And I feel like I could pick his brain for hours on several different topics, whether it's music, movies, golf, his radio career. I feel like we would have a lot to talk about. And I feel like he'd be an easy guy to live with. And he has a gold lab, which I'm a big fan of too. So,
final question: what's the weirdest purchase you've made during quarantine, or the weirdest thing you found yourself doing during quarantine?
I don't know about doing, because I've been working 6 days a week. I really haven't been doing much. I'm playing a lot of games, like in terms of Xbox, but I'll say the weirdest purchase I made was yesterday, and I don't even know if it's that weird, but I bought a vacuum sealer.
Oh yeah,
I needed one.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So like,
you would probably never bought that normally, and you did.
Because like we have so much meat we need to store now because there is a meat shortage. So I think we're going to start freezing some meat, and in order to preserve space in the freezer, it's easier if you just seal them off, pretty much. And my dad has one, and he raves about it. So I finally pulled the trigger on it yesterday. It was like $70. It wasn't even that bad. And then another thing you can do with it is you can marinate stuff with that too. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. It's great to store marijuana too. If you ever
is it?
I don't know.
Have you? No, seriously, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It preserves it. Makes it like a brick.
Do you grow your own?
I've never have. I know people who have.
I know people who have too. I've never done it.
Yeah, so that's what happens. They vacuum seal it, so it like.
Huh.
You ever see like
I've always seen the mason jars or something like that, but not a vacuum seal.
You ever see Harold Kumar. Remember when or like you ever see, Super Troopers when they find all the weed and they're in those cubes? They're all vacuum sealed. Like that's how they all are. All right, Tucker. Anything else today that you want to get to?
No, I got to fly, dude. But I did have a lot of fun. I hope you have me on again. Thanks for being the 87th guest on your podcast. Thanks for thinking of me.
You're the 25th.
Oh, good. I'm 25th in your list. Okay.
25th.
That's fine.
We got a big week next week.
I'll see you in the morning, right?
Oh, that's right.
Why don't you promote the show?
The DraftKings Over Under Show, 7 a.m. with Dan Lifshitz, Joe Murray, and Tucker Silva. How's that?
And I really do wish your show someday is not to kiss your ass, but I really do hope that show is 2 hours someday because you guys could crush it on a 2-hour show.
We are trying. All right, Tucker. Thank you for your overtime. Man.
Anytime.
The studio looks great, and tell everybody there I said
I'm gonna go golf now. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
I just want to check.
What's your golf? You go. The governor gave you the okay.
Okay, yeah, but yesterday or Wednesday, not.
No, selfish prick. You're like the governor's got other shit, and you're up his ass. Go golfing.
Oh,
all right. I'll see you in the morning.
All right, toodles.
Thank you. Bye.
All
right, that's Tucker Silva. That was fun. Today. All right. Well, what do we got going on? Tomorrow morning, Over Under 985 podcast, 7 a.m. Tonight, I'll be on with Christian Arcand on the Adam Jones program, so you want to stay tuned for that. I got all your UFC picks for tomorrow. It's going to be a big night for UFC. I didn't realize how loud I was right there. And then we have the Weekenders. I'll be doing on the Weekenders Sunday at 2 o'clock on YouTube if you want to check that out. So that's it for me. Monday, Mason Souza joins the show. We'll have Big Jim Murray next week on Tuesday. And I know we'll wrap up the week with John Anik from UFC. He'll be on with me, and then we'll mix in a few guests as well. Going forward, depending on what happens with the lockdown or when things start to get opened up a bit, I don't know when the time of the show is going to be. I'm doing them 5 days a week right now. They could be 1 day a week. I don't know. So when things finally get back to normal, we'll find out. But I do want to do like segmented shows, like TV stuff. Sopranos ending is something I definitely want to do. I want to do one on the grunge era. I want to do one on butt rock of the 2000s. So there's a lot of stuff that I have in the tube that just haven't got to yet. But there's going to be a lot of good topics going forward here, and I'm doing this to stay fresh. I'm lucky enough to go into the radio station 3-4 days a week now. Next week will be 2, but hey, there's literally nothing else I can do at this point. So I'm getting out of here one more time. Just Sitting Here is on Spotify, YouTube, and iTunes. I'm going to download these bad boys right now. I'll get them on there. They should be there within the hour. And then anybody, you can listen to all of them. We've had tons of people from the sports hub on here. We're going to have some additional guests going soon. So should be a lot of fun. Appreciate everybody that has been chatting in. Best podcast ever, says Mark Gemelli. What are you gonna do without the feast? There's no feast. Can you believe that? Hey, you got no meatballs to give out. Yeah, what are you gonna do without the feast? I like. There's no feast in Boston. Like if this was The Sopranos, there would be a damn feast. Now, I know Paulie would nitpick, okay, and try to skim around the edges a little bit for what's out there, because he didn't want the damn guy's hat on one of the episodes. And let's not forget, the little teacups had their little, they had their little issue there. But the Sopranos would always have a feast. Maybe they'd move it. Maybe they move the feast to somewhere else or to another date. It's kind of upsetting that there's no feast. Tom Silva, thank you, sir. Especially that Tucker guy. Thank you. Manhattans. I think, man, I'd love to have a Manhattan today. I got to go to work, though. So that's it for me. Thank you, everybody, for checking in today. It was a lot of fun. Thanks to Tucker Silva. I'll see you guys in the morning, 7 a.m. Actually, I'll see you tonight at 6 o'clock on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. I'm just sitting there, and real quick, the Feast of St. Alzire. Paulie went cheap with the rides. Janice, Bobby wanted to kill Paul. Remember that? And then the kid, and then Paulie's mom wasn't his mom, was a nun. And everyone was upset about the hat, right? And what else happened on that episode? There was a lot that happened. Damn feast. Adriana's mom was in there. Anyways, the feast of St. Alzire. And you know that new priest was like, yeah, 10 grand, not enough. We want 50. Anyways. All right, I gotta get out of here. Sopranos talk. I gotta do a show. Gotta do a Sopranos show. All right, I'm out of here. Joe Murray, just sitting here. I'll see you tonight, 6 o'clock, 98.5 The Sports Hub. This is another edition of Just Sitting Here. We'll see you on Monday.